Up next is Anastasia Gavalas, and she is a parenting expert. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Tell us about how you decided, after having 5 children, that you wanted to be a parenting expert and help others.
Well, it first started off as I first started off as a teacher in a public school here on Long Island, and then I did a lot of educational consulting. So I went into schools, and I would train teachers and students on diversity issues. And that sort of stopped, took a pause from that while I had my second and third child. And then I realized that the most important teacher in a child's life is a parent. And so by that time, I morphed it into more of teaching parents. I still work with schools periodically on leadership issues and diversity issues. But now it's more of parenting workshops and getting moms together and working with them on how to really make life easier while they're doing the hardest job on earth.
Now, did it stem from like a mingling moms group where you were like having strollers and you're like a play group per se, or how did it all begin?
It really began because there was a need out there. I mean, I was being asked by other moms for advice, and I was being asked by educators how I do it constantly. So when I would be brought into schools, the PTAs would grab a hold of me and say, we need your help, and we need to be able to make a difference in our children's lives, as well as getting the schools to support our goals. So it morphed into it really naturally. So I started off with doing workshops privately, and then doing large group workshops, and it's taken off as the more parents realize that they need some help, I'm there to support them.
And you've written one book, and you're in the process of getting the second one launched.
Yes,
so tell us about your 2 books.
Okay, my first book was done through the schools. It's called Leadership Through the Eyes of Children. And it's on, there's a little clip on YouTube actually that got a lot of hits. I think it's up to 20,000 hits at this point. So a lot of educators are using it. And it really talks about current world leaders and the profound wisdom of children and how they can lead, because every child has the capacity to lead in their own way. And I'm really proud of it, and it's a great book, and it's available as well. And then my second book, which will be available as an ebook within a day or 2, is called Wing It: 6 Simple Steps to Succeed as a Modern Day Parent. And I'm really proud of that.
And I would love that when you were telling me about that, because I'm like, wing it, live it up. I'm like, that's just so, I wing it as a parent. I mean, I'll tell stories all the time about how I do it, and it's just, sometimes you just need to wing it.
Sometimes, and that's what I learned. I learned that if you give them the right foundation, that the day-to-day stuff, you could just simply wing it. And it works better because you're sort of taking the stressfulness out of parenting, and you're putting ease back into your life, and you're having fun. Too many parents have forgotten to have fun. And so I hope that with this book, it encourages parents to, take the pressure off of perfection and just enjoy life with children.
Or even when you're baking with your kids, letting them ice the cake. Letting them ice the cake. Let them put,
without going over and fixing it.
Exactly. Let them put as many sprinkles as they want on it. You can always make a separate cake if you really are OCD about it. It has to look a certain way. But I found so much joy in that, and that happened to me recently. And I said, you know what? He's like, oh, I want to put blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. It still tastes the same, so who cares what it looks like?
Well, it's just a matter of letting go. Letting go that it has to be a certain way, and teaching children to be independent and allowing them to be independent. So when you ask them to do a chore, let them do it. So if the floor, has a really large spot that's not vacuumed, don't go over it. Just let it be for now, and then, and then do it. But just allowing them to bake the cake, or to help you make dinner, or to allow them to make dinner. I have 3 out of my 5 children have 1 night a week that they're responsible for making dinner. Whatever gets said on the table, whatever gets said on the table is what we eat. And you know what? Everybody's appreciative of it because they put their heart and soul into it, and they really do a great job.
That's very, very sweet. And I know you brought some tips with us today. What do we got going on here?
Well, I think it's really important that we take a break from really always trying to get things done as parents and grandparents. And so I put a list together of 5 steps in learning how to interact happily with children, and it's just a really simple way of remembering, and it starts with the word smile. So the S in smile is about seeking understanding. So many times as parents or as adults, we feel like we have to have all the answers, but children just want to be with you, and a lot of times they are so willing to share what they feel, what they're experiencing. So really, as a parent or as a grandparent or as an aunt or whoever you are interacting with the child, if you take that opportunity to just seek an understanding about what they like, what they're thinking, it will make it that much better. And I often find that to be true. Stop worrying about knowing all the answers. You don't have to know all the answers.
I like that. Now, what's the M for?
The M is for make it safe and easy. And really, the second that I got comfortable with my children and wasn't worried about if I'm going to lose them or if they're going to hurt themselves, they had a better time and I had a better time, and I was able to enjoy whatever the interaction was, whether it was being outside or whether it was being in a public place. Just make it safe and easy, and make sure you set it up so that you're comfortable as a parent, and they're always comfortable. They're always willing to try new things.
And the I?
And the I is inspire independence. So we know children are born creative. They're born creative, and it's really important that we don't squash that creativity and we don't sort of hold them back from trying new things. So inspiring independence is something that I teach all the time because it's so important in today's world to let them be who they are and really just allow them to try new things.
Okay, and give us the L.
And the L is love them for who they were born to be. A lot of times society tells us who our children ought to be, or maybe our families tell us, well, this is what their father did, so this is what they should do, or so on and so forth. But really, it's just about loving your child for whoever they are, whether they are good at problem solving, or they're good readers, or they're good artists, or they're good musicians, whatever, or athletes, whatever it is that they love, allow them to be that person. And the first step in that is loving yourself first so that you can provide that to them.
And I like that. That's what we say, finding their it in life,
Yes.
you know, whatever their it is.
Yes.
And what's the E? Bring it on home.
And the E is engage with ease. So really just setting goals but not overwhelming, allowing them to be there and you to be there, and really being present. Children get it, even if it's 10 minutes that you can be with them. Be there, be fully present and engage with ease, not hurried to try to do something else or not worrying about dinner on the stove. Just set that time aside so that it can be easy and fun and enjoyable for both of you.
I think that's fabulous. I'm definitely going to be going home with all those tips tonight.
Just remember to smile.
For all of these great tips and so much more, you can check it out at liveituptvshow.com. We have an absolutely awesome idea. We decided to link you up with our parenting button, and so if you want all these great tips, you can. And how could they find you if they wanted to find your...
They can go on my website. It's www.anastasiagavalas.com.
Gavalas. Love the Gavalas. All right, stay tuned for more on Live It Up.